Hey everyone, my name is Heather Havenwood and welcome to the version of Like a Boss, your insights with influencers, entrepreneurs, and badasses like you. So today I have Troy.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so just so you know, underneath the desk I have, I've had surgery, skin cancer surgery, and I have little cute, they're cute, right? They're cute little PJs underneath this.
Yeah.
So he is here.
Yeah, they are.
He's here being a super friend, helping me out just for a couple hours. But this is Tory Parker. He is an entrepreneur.
I hate that the camera's way up there.
I know. I apologize.
It's awkward.
He's an actor, so he's been psychoanalyzing my setup, which is fine.
I'm not psychoanalyzing, I'm just giving you
tips.
Sharing experiences.
Experiences. No, I'm good with that. He's sharing with me my black background's not the best. And I agree with him. He is awesome. Just so you know who Tory Parker is, you can go check him out at IMDb.
Jesus Christ.
Is that wrong?
You can go to the IMDb website and just search for Tory Parker. You're not going to recognize anything in there. Let's keep it realistic. So
all right.
I've been on some TV shows that you will, if you blink, you will miss me. So
but you're going after
kind of like missing the camera should be catching the magic in our eyes.
I know.
But it's up there.
Okay.
But I'm looking down here and it's.
Let's try different cameras.
Your whole setup needs a good technical
washing.
douching.
All right, let's try this.
Can I say douching?
That's a bad angle. That's a bad one. We don't want that. So let's go back.
It needs a technical douching.
All right, well,
yeah.
Douche away. All right. So my name is Heather Havenwood, and I want to introduce you to my friend Tory Parker. Where I said that. I just want to let you know I've known you since I was how old?
You were supposed to be 21.
But I wasn't.
Yeah, because she's a sneaky little
female
sneaking into an adult bar.
And I was only
21.
I was 17. I was 17, and he hit on me in a bar.
You followed me.
I did not follow you.
You followed me.
I did not follow you.
And you were looking uber cute.
Uber cute.
Yeah.
Uber cute. When I was 17, I was a senior.
In an adult establishment.
I was a senior in high school.
I was only 21. Or 22.
I think you're 22.
Yeah.
You took advantage of me.
Yeah, you paged me.
That's right, I did.
Pagers, yeah.
We paged each other. It was awesome.
She beeped me.
I beeped him. We're that old. That's what that means.
True.
So, yes, I met him at a bar 20 plus years ago. More than that now. Almost 30 something. And a long time ago.
She's old.
Thank you. But I'm younger than you. All right. So
True.
I acknowledge and so honored that you, after only a few years ago, really 4 years ago, when did you make the move to say, I'm going to do acting?
Oh, it's actually been close to 8.
Okay, close to 8.
7.5,
but you
8
made
years,
the move from Houston to Atlanta.
Oh, no, I moved to Atlanta for the more acting opportunities to grow in that market about 3 years ago.
That's a big deal.
2.5, 3 years ago.
I think it's such a big deal because you're like, I want this and I'm willing to go where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I share that a lot of people, like, if you want to be in Wall Street, you go to New York. You don't try to do that from Potomac, Kansas. Okay?
Well, Wall Street is in New York.
Right. That's my point.
So
is that a lot of people try to say, well, I don't have the opportunities. And I'm like, it's called U-Haul, you can move. That's my whole point.
Yeah, I mean, I downsized to get rid of a bunch of, can I curse?
Ish. You can curse ish.
I got rid of a bunch of shit.
That's fine.
And yeah, it was I strongly encourage everyone to downsize. It's a really empowering moment. For example, Heather, you have a lot of stuff in your house as well. But it looks good on you.
It
looks good on you. Yeah, you're living. I mean, people live in a museum these days. You're paying rent for a museum. If you haven't physically touched,
house dissing me?
Let's stay on topic. Hello.
You're in my house dissing me.
I got
rid of a treadmill.
We don't say diss at our age.
I got rid of a treadmill. I got rid of so much stuff. I got rid of 5 bags of stuff a few weeks ago.
Look at all those
4 bags
books.
of I love my books.
What purpose do they serve? Have you actually looked at them all?
They make me feel smart.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've read it, right? Are they done?
Yeah.
Do you pull them out and like mark on it, or inspired by captions? And anyway, hello. Stay on
topic. All right. Enough about me. Let's talk about me. All right. So back to you, Atlanta. I'm very impressed that you did that. You said, I'm, getting all your stuff into a tiny car.
Yeah.
You had a Prius. Is it a Prius?
Well, I had to rent a truck to move my shit over there and then tow. God damn, sorry. To hello.
Sorry.
And I pulled my car behind it and I towed it.
Okay,
But,
well, you had some stuff.
Yeah,
Here's my question I have for you.
Okay.
There's a thing in your bedroom that I remember when I was 17 when you were taking advantage of me that I knew you had when I was in my 30s because I came over years later. That do you still have? The fire hydrant.
Oh, I wish.
He had a fire hydrant.
That thing, it was a beautiful piece of. It was painted intricately by an artist friend of mine.
It was.
But you know how often I move. I've never renewed a lease, ever.
Yeah, he moved a lot.
So I moved all the time.
You always had that though.
I'm that guy who's always swiping. There's always something better out there.
Hence why we never ended up together, by the way.
But anyway.
Swiper.
You were young. You're young.
Swiper. And now I'm old and we're still not
together. But the fire hydrant is so heavy.
I know. I remember trying to move it and I thought it was fake.
No,
it was real. Like it's the damn thing in his bedroom. Along with his cat. You got rid of it? Did you give it to somebody? You know where it's at right now, don't you?
I left it outside one of my other places I had. It was a workout. They wanted it.
Oh, they wanted it.
The landlord was like, cool, you can leave it here. Because I was like, man, I can't keep moving this thing. I'm like, ugh.
Okay, so you know where it is probably.
I don't think it's there anymore. This is like a long time ago. It's done. It's done.
Oh, I liked that fire hydrant.
I wish I had a picture. I don't have any pictures of it.
It was a symbolic thing as a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to your acting.
Okay.
I'm very impressed that at the age of, how old were you when you made that decision?
So let's do math.
Let's do math.
I'm 51.
My God, you're old.
But I play age range. No. Yeah, I'm 51. My age range is typically around, depending if I shave my beard, I look a lot younger because there's like gray in my beard. Yeah, you do
look a lot. Yeah, you have this ability to look a lot young in this deep voice. So when you said you were going to do acting, it made sense to me.
I mean, everyone acts every day. You act like you like this job. You act like you like this person. You act like you like your brother, your sister, or whatever. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the confidence and getting the technical training with cameras and lights and.
That's what I'm not doing very well. I don't do that well.
And if anyone, everyone acts every day. You truly do. But it's just a matter of if you want to embrace another character or work with other people on a
character.
There's more to it.
I'm very impressed that you do that. So what have you learned in the last 3 years by going to Atlanta, getting an agent, I think you got an agent, got a new agent, and then you're here today. You were
well, I have an agent in Atlanta, an agent in Houston, and an agent in Austin.
Oh, okay.
So I have agents.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it without them. So thank you, agents. Thank you so much.
Agents for me. Okay, so you just earlier were doing a voiceover audition here in
which
my
I can't
studio.
talk about.
No, you can't talk about. But you were doing it here, and you were. I was in the other room while you were doing your lines, and you sent it off to potentially get the deal. You have to talk about it.
Right.
But I just think it was really cool to listen to you and like hear what. Just doing the work, and that was cool. I just really like that.
You can page me if you want it.
I don't know how I look. Okay, all right. So exactly in the world of your choice to say, I'm making that decision 8 years ago, what was going on in your life that you're like, I am totally going to do world of becoming an actor at the age of what, 40, 41, 42, something like that?
It would be 43 or 44, but I'm a stickler for math. Stay in school. No, basically, I don't know. Life is so short and precious.
Yeah.
And you probably thought about that a lot with your recent surgery, not to be.
When you have the C word come across your world, all of a sudden, like, shit gets real.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hashtag.
But life is too short and precious. And, if I was never happy or excited about a job, I would find something else. And
you've been through a lot of jobs. I've known you for a long time.
Great jobs.
You've had some great jobs, but I've never seen you as someone who was like, I'm really freaking happy with this. I never heard that.
It's not that but I never complain. I'm just like, you know what? It's not that jobs have been awful. It's just, I think that there should be more out of devoting that much time towards your life. You think about it. There's so many people I know that aren't happy with their jobs.
Right.
So let's break that down. 52 weeks in a year. If you get your standard 2-week vacation, that means you're miserable 50 weeks out of the year.
Forget that.
You're miserable 5 days of the week. So you spend that one Saturday. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to make people question their choices, but.
Well, let's talk about one of your jobs you had, because I remember going to see you one evening in Houston.
Oh shit. What was it?
He was the manager at Hooters.
I was for
You
5 years.
were
Yeah,
for
5 years.
We
yeah.
definitely did not date then.
No.
We never
Although
really
I would have hired you.
Oh.
You could have.
Thank
You could have.
you.
You could have represented. I think you could have brought out some good chicken wings. Let's keep it. Is this PG?
No, never. But
right.
Thank you. I'm gonna say
no.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean that was a great job. I mean it was fun. The girls were the best and the worst part of that job at the same time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I have a lot of long-lasting friendships
from that job.
I'm in touch with a lot of many of the Hooter girls from back in the day.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Okay, so just so he's 52.
Why are we talking about that now?
I'm just overviewing your jobs. You're not married. You don't have any kids.
Nope.
Never.
But if I was married and if I had kids, then I would not be as open to chasing acting because it's I mean it's a very I have a lot of friends who are married, who are actors, who are doing very well. But I mean it definitely makes it harder because I can't speak for them, but I know for myself, if I had a wife or a family and kids, whatever, then I know that would be my.
Yeah, you got to provide for them.
Yeah, I couldn't be as selfish as
you are now.
Selfish isn't a good word. As adventurous.
In a loving way, Troy. You've always been selfish.
I'm bad, man. But it looks backwards.
You've been selfish for. Even when we were
dating.
We're going to fight. Even when we were dating, I was 17, 18, and she didn't want to know that I was 17, which that's not actually bad in state.
Let's get back on topic. Is this a self-help session? Or?
Yeah.
Am I on trial here?
Yes, you are. You didn't know that? Right. Okay, anyway, back to that. I'm really impressed by what you do. I'm impressed that you took that decision because I'm 44 right now. I guess I just tell people that in my little glasses. But I got the, thing going on with my leg, and it's really changed everything. Like I'm looking at a new book. I'm looking at totally changing what I'm doing. I'm looking downsizing another level. I'm looking at a lot of things.
Why not?
I'm open.
If you think you might be happier or you're enjoying the journey, then by all means,
I'm looking at going to Bali. I'm looking at going to Egypt next year.
Do you speak Balinese?
No.
Is that what they call?
I don't know.
It sounds like.
But I just,
speak ball?
I think it's a time in our lives when you're that age of 40 that you're like, you know what? Screw it. I wanted to know if that's kind of what you got to.
No, it wasn't at all.
There must have been something.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Because it was kind of left.
Yeah.
At least it was for me. My experience with you, it was left field a little.
It was because here's a friend of mine, a longtime bartender friend of mine, Patrick Sane. That's not your real name. I'll keep it. He's an actor. Okay.
Okay.
And he was out of Houston. He's been my bartender for like 20 some odd years.
He's like that guy. He's your
I know that guy. Like we partied. We partied, dude. Yeah. But anyway, we'll keep it. Anyway, so he started posting on Facebook, hey, I booked this feature, booked that feature, booked this. And he was living in Houston. And I was like, well, what the hell? I mean, I think everyone's kind of fantasized.
It's a fantasy.
I think everyone's like, daydreamed. I think daydream's a better word.
I'd love to.
Everyone's daydreamed about being an actor.
Hollywood.
And I always thought you had to either be in LA or New York to pursue it. And so I reached out to him one day. I was like, man, what are you doing to book these features? I shot him a message. He's like, I go to these networking mixers and I go to this acting class. And I was like, well, shit, man, I could do that. He goes, yeah, man, you'd be awesome. So I started going to the same acting classes, go to the same mixers. And then I learned the true definition of what feature film means about 8 classes in. You know what feature film means?
No.
Yeah. It just means it's a longer shitty movie. Because there's shorts.
Okay.
And then there's features.
Oh,
so a short is anything under a certain amount of time, and anything beyond that time is called a feature. And I was like, this is such a pretentious, self-inflating, fake industry. Why don't they call it a full? Or why don't they call it a long? Because when I heard feature, when I was reading it on Facebook, I was like, oh man, I get to go down and to see my boy on the marquee and pay to go see him and have popcorn and be like all wowed by it. No, it's just a no offense, Patrick. I mean, I've done over 50 independent films and I've learned a lot. You can learn, believe it or not, you can learn more from a bad set than you can from a good set.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
it's still a bad set.
You can't,
yeah.
You can't use that marketing material to help grow. because you need your reel.
You need the good stuff.
Yeah, you need because your reel
stuff.
is like your commercial, showing your range of projects you've done in like the characters or whatever.
Right.
And if your footage is not usable, then and typically, in the beginning you do a lot of stuff for free to network and to grow, and you're doing a lot of stuff with students. Love students. Oh my God.
I saw one of your student films.
Oh, please, let's just. So yeah, how about more about you then?
Yeah, so okay.
No, but then so I started doing that, and by that time, I've gotten some good feedback. And I want to
share this. This is really great because he, in the years I've known him, and recently I keep in touch with him, and his family lives here, his mom lives here. I have seen him has to really work the ladder. You have to go up the ladder with acting unless you're all of a sudden in Hollywood and your family's from it. But it really is, you have to move up the ladder. You're growing into it. And one of the things in my world, in the entrepreneur world, in the online marketing world, there isn't that ladder. They just think, well, they want to be an entrepreneur, and then like next year they're going to be a multimillionaire, or this year they want to write a book. Now they're going to be New York, and they get mad when they're not a New York Times bestseller. And I know for myself, I'm working right now and really focused on for the next year going with a true publisher, like an old school publisher, and going towards trying to what I call I'm going to go swing the bat to Wall Street Journal and New York Times bestseller. That I'm swinging the bat, And there's a process. There's a ladder. There's a ladder over the process.
Okay, about that. When it comes to acting, it's an individual journey. It's so dynamic for each specific person. So you could literally, someone could come in brand new tomorrow, get the opportunity of a lifetime, get the exposure, and you using your analogy, leapfrog past all these rungs to the top of the ladder.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Well, it just is what it is. And on the flip side, though, you could be stuck on using your ladder again. I don't like using that analogy, but I'll use yours. You could be stuck on that one rung forever. You don't know. It's not like when you go, say you're going to become a doctor. Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm going to take, I do 12 years of school, then I have my residency, then I'll be a practicing doctor at this time.
That's true.
In acting as well as in like music, any type of creative art, you could literally.
There are people that
you could make it. You could make it. Yeah, you could make it tomorrow, or you could never make it. And the reality is, most people aren't ever going to make it. But the thing is, it's a game you can't win if you don't play. Right. So
I like that. You can't. That's what I'm doing now. Like
it's like the lottery. You can't win it if you don't play it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's like right now, someone's like, "Oh, how do you know it's going to be a New York Times bestseller?" I'm like, "Well, you don't know until you hit the realm of it."
Yeah. So keep your sanity. That's the most important thing I can share with anybody. Try to keep a healthy frame of mind, but it's good to have the demons and the darkness as well, so you can pull from that for some roles if you need.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves a good little bit of crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
But keep your mental sanity, man, and try to stay ahead of the financial game. I'm really fortunate that I DJ as well, which pays,
the bills.
Yeah. I mean, it's I've got some other side hustle is so important. Because I'm old, man. I was waiting tables in Atlanta when I first got there. And I hurt my back, and I was out of work for like 2.5 months, laying up in bed.
I remember that.
Because I'm old from football and being in the Army and being run over by a car and all this bullshit. God, I'm sorry, my language.
It's okay.
Hello.
But it's an important piece. You've got to be able to be relentless. I just love your story. And like I said, I've known you for a long time. And like, you are relentless, and you're on this journey, and you've gone all in. You're not like wibble wobbling around. You have side hustles, but you're still clear on your goal.
Well, I got to pay the bills. So.
Yeah, but you're still clear on the goal. You don't say, well, I'm going to drop acting. You're like, no, I'm still acting. This is my goal. And this is the side hustle. This is not the goal. And I think that's a really important piece. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just go off the side. So I think I find it admiring. It's very admiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I knew as soon as I would be admiring to him, he'd be like, wait, more.
But I want to try more side hustle. I want to start doing some stand-up and stuff. My brother's been hounding me for years to do stand-up.
I have been hounding
You've been hounding me too, yeah.
I've also been hounding him to do a podcast with me because I think it'd be funny. I think we should do it on like Hollywood and sex and stuff like that.
Okay, I know about sex. I don't know anything about Hollywood.
Well, it's kind of your business.
Or making love.
Making love.
I mean, we wouldn't talk about back when I was 17.
You were 21. Stay on topic. Stay on topic, please.
Sorry, I was.
What's the statute of limitations on statutory?
I'm sure.
Good Lord.
We're fine. I'm not going to press charges. Okay. So, anyways, my point is that is I think you'd be great working, having some fun with me as a podcaster.
Let's do it. We've been talking about it.
Or do it yourself. I mean, you can stare at the camera.
It's more fun to learn from you. You are the professional podcast. Is it Podcastee?
Queen. Podcast queen.
Podcast person?
Queen.
You're not queen yet. Princess, maybe?
I am queen. I'm Miss Texas queen. I have a freaking look. That's my crown.
Did I put it on your head? I mean, if the dragons come, do I find safety and refuge behind the walls of your castle, my queen? No.
Yes. I will protect you.
Is there air conditioning in your castle?
No.
Because this is Texas. It's not. Okay, I'll call you queen for now.
All right. So if we did a show, we would do it probably on something fun. Like
it has to be fun. I don't want to do
something on what's happening today. No politics.
No politics or no religion.
No politics, no religion. Something, I guess, like, you know, what do they call
I think
it?
Entertainment, I think
relationships.
Mental health, but not from a professional standpoint.
Like we would talk about the Meghan Markle and Harry thing that just happened.
Sure.
Like that would be a fun, interesting story.
Sure. Who are they?
Meghan Markle and Harry, the prince. Oh, see, phone call.
Okay.
Not gonna do that. So my point is that I think it'd be great as a podcast. We could think of the name.
Work on that.
The Troy and Heather show.
No. This is you. I'll be your sidekick. You've already established that
queen
dominance.
And the biatch, or the queen and the slave.
She's prefaced all this before.
This is not and the slave.
This is not improv. She has a plan.
I don't.
Let's work on it.
We'll work on the plan. All right. Yeah. So I just wanted to share.
Talk to your listeners first. See if I'm worthy of Her Highness's time.
You're not.
Her camera situation. Your face is worthy. Your space is not worthy. Your setup is not desirable.
Yeah, you're gonna help me fix that.
Needs to be down here.
Is that
because you can still look through that to see your monitor.
I'm having a hard time. I know.
You need to lose the reflective lenses, either pop them out,
all right,
or lose them entirely.
Okay. Sorry.
Your camera is up here, which is awkward. It needs to be down here. But you always want to make sure your camera's above your chin so it flatters the gobbler.
Right, the gobbler.
And yeah.
All right, we're gonna fix that. So if you become my podcast,
this backdrop is depressing. It's like, are we?
He's harsh.
I'm just trying to help you.
I know. I'm taking it as feedback.
Constructive criticism, but I'm not a podcaster. But I have been I've been on the internet before.
You've been on the internet before?
I have a computer.
All right. Everyone. This is Heather Havenwood and Tory Parker. Check them out at
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your consideration. And
I do. Yeah, let's do it. All right. I will.
I think we can do it.
We can do it. Can we do it? This is a commitment.
We'll talk about it. We got to define some stuff.
See, right then I'm trying to
nice.
He won't commit. Hence why he's not married.
Anyway, I haven't married because I haven't found the right woman yet. It's not the right time for me.
Okay.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. All right, everyone, it's Heather Havenwood. Check me out at heatherhavenwood.com, on Roku, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, wherever you're listening to podcasts. You
can check me out on Pornhub at Dad Bod. Well, because I got a Dad Bod, and I'm a giver.
He's kidding, by the way. I run
PORNHUB.